What is up, everybody? This is Tikwe, also known as Richard, and I'm coming back to you with another casted game of the English. It's another mirror matchup. Unfortunately, it's going to be a common thing, I think, since the new patch. English being very, very prominent since that new update or buff that they got. So they got a few buffs, and it works well with a few things. So firstly is the fact that we get that extra 50 food. So immediately what you can see on different build style here, apologies for that. We're playing against who is Maxi X, I guess, and he's all the way here on the south side, east side of the map. Immediately going for a barracks, and why I say this extra 50 wood makes a big difference, because you can also put down a house. So in the immediate vicinity of the game, in this type of case, you'll probably have to go for food, because you can see those 5 villagers on food, 1 on the house, 1 on the barracks. Those villagers have to transition either into gold or into wood, so you can keep up with wasting, or not wasting is the wrong word, but going for the wood. And technically, or commonly what people do with the barracks is they go for the Palace of Swabia, and then they rush, for argument's sake, your gold. Now, please take note of where your own gold spawn is, because that's also going to determine how quickly your men-at-arms are going to be able to come out, because they train a lot quicker. This is also one of the additional buffs that the English got. It's 15 seconds training time instead of 22. So you can see that first men-at-arms coming out already at 1 minute 30, which is great, because what you want to do with these men-at-arms is you want to head to the back of the gold and isolate the gold, or to the gold. And maps where you have a forward gold, you reduce the distance that these men-at-arms have to run. Remember, it came out about 1:30. Let's use that as a benchmark, right? If you look at this time right here. So 1:30 is the time he came out. Second one is out now, so 1:45 is, so the 2 men-at-arms coming out, and they need to get onto the gold before we reach 200 gold, because once you reach the second age, you can start competing with the men-at-arms. And I can show you the difference why I feel my build order, or this build order, is superior, right? So what we do is 6 villagers on food. First villager that comes out builds the gold mine. Second one comes out builds the house. You don't reach population cap, and it means you will have those 2 villagers on the gold mine, and then the next 2 villagers goes back onto food and then onto the wood line. So once you reach the 3-minute mark, you basically have 4 or 5 villagers on the wood line. You can see we're just scouting out the enemy. I'm going back to my perspective. We're scouting him out. We see the barracks. And now we're going for the council hall, but we already have the gold we need. We even over farmed a little bit of gold, so it's not an issue for us. But you can see how far away he is from the second age. So with these 4 villagers, it's a very standard age up time for the English like this. But you pull your gold villagers and 2 food villagers, so you're still sitting on 6. And what you'll find is, as soon as the council hall, it depends on how far the gold is firstly, but once the council hall is done, you will sit on 6-6 or 6-7 with your wood and your food villagers. And I've said this in a lot of my previous videos, I am very comfortable. This is extra. I picked up a few sheep just around the base, but 5 sheep is like my comfort zone, where I know I can get into the age, I can get the right resources, I can go for my council hall archers to get to where I need to be. Now you can see the first man-at-arms is on the gold vein. It's like what you would expect. And the second one is also now right here, but they had to deal with the wolf that chased them all the way from here, which is a factor to take into consideration. They'll automatically aggro wolves and stuff. So now it's trying to siege down the house, and if you leave this uncontested, yes, you would have a problem. But you can see now we're already training a barracks, we're getting a house, so we have everything that he has in terms of a barracks, in terms of the housing, gold mine, lumber camp, right? We have 2 houses, 1, 2. We have a gold mine, lumber camp, all the right villagers where they need to be, and we just aged up at 4 minutes 30. And now the villagers are going to push to get the outpost out, to get our town center safe, and that's just to buy time to pull these men-at-arms forward, because they have to contest this. And all I'm doing is forcing the villagers into the nice range that we have on the English town center. So the town center did all the work. We actually garrisoned our food villagers. So you know, it's a bit of a timing thing. It was fine to get the macro of the food villagers here in the town center, get that 2 men-at-arms down. So from the get-go, right, we did not lose our house, but he's already 200 food and 40 gold behind, and he's only starting with his landmark now, using 5 villagers to do that. So some idle time, you know, training up that council hall. So he didn't go for the Abbey of the Kings, and closer maps that feels a little bit smaller is good for the Abbey of the Kings, because what you do is you go for little raids, especially where your resources is quite far from the town center. On those type of maps, you'll use those raids to, you know, harass, get back, heal up, harass, get back, heal up. So by the time your units, you know, you can't really get underneath the town center or anything. By the time you have Castle Age, you have such a big mass of units, it would be very hard to deal with, right? So we have a council hall, so now the question based, you know, what's the next strategy, what's the next move on his side, and I was expecting Abbey of the Kings, I did not expect the council hall, so again from my perspective this is what we see. Scout came here through the back just before he put down the wall. I think he didn't know that he could get through the back here, but it's fine. So our scout is right here, 2 additional sheep, and because the scout's on this side, right, I have line of sight on these villagers. So I'm trying to get my archers around the back here, not possible. So all I'm trying to do, I want to pick off maybe 1 or 2 villagers, because that's another positive in my side. So we have the scout view here, so now we can actually just start picking. I don't know why this one didn't attack, because obviously they were grouped together. So we get 1 villager. You can see now he garrisoned in the outpost, and just chasing off the scout with the men-at-arms. The men-at-arms will win this fight, so we just respect that and move away with the scout. And now at the back of the base we have a barracks, we have a stable, and we have the council hall. So one thing to note, just in the future when you're playing games, whatever building you select first, and you can group them. So I'm grouping, I'm clicking the stable, shift clicking barracks, and then the council, right? And then I like putting it on keybind 7. You can do whatever is comfortable for you. Actually, not losing R, should I? Just a little bit more harassment there, and scout just trying to get information. We saw he's still 5 villagers strong on gold. We knew he had a very heavy wood line, and now you can see he has to transition into farms and trying to get units, because he doesn't know what to expect from my side as well. So it's a bit of a double-edged sword, because you can't really not train units, because you know you've already lost some units, so you might get pushed in with a siege workshop, or you might be behind on Castle Age. So what I do is, I knew this game might go into a late game because of the nature of these this specific map. We're playing on Ancient Spires. The reason why I say that is I find these hills quite inconsistent, because what you'll find, you know, I'm using this villager now to close off here, but if you get a bad spawn with the water or something, where the water, for argument's sake, is at the back here, you can wall off here, but you'll find that units can run just around the side of this water and maybe like through the corners here, so it's very hard to wall off everything that you need to be as safe as you need to. But we have stone starting to come out now, and I'm using gold villager to get my market ready, and blacksmith, so market keybound 8, town center keybound 2, military keybound 7, and what I said with the military, whatever I selected first, it's going to be first in queue, and then I can tab to that same item, because you grouped them, so all the stables first. So 7 is the general, but obviously because you started with the stable, that's going to be first. So in the English's case, when you're doing this and you're going for like a white tower or a keep, select the keep first, then you can train any unit, and it applies that training to other units as well. So what I'm doing right now is I'm actually going for extra scout, so I'm scouting this corner so I can see anything happening from this side. Archers here in the middle, and I'm using this scout to cover off any movement on this side. So it's like having a tower for 60 gold, 60 food, right? Outpost. The outpost is 100 wood, right? And it's permanent, obviously. But if you have these scouts out, they will be able to give you a lot more information for less resources. And all I'm doing is I'm having them out so I can have more vision on the map, which means I have more control on the map. You asserting your dominance, essentially. So I know he went with the council. We did see that when we pushed in with the archers here. You can see he actually seized our archers with his scout. So now starting with the push. No blacksmith up yet, so still just the barracks and the council hall. He has very little wood, but now he has to transition into a very far back deer because we picked up most of the sheep in the game. We also have the farms and the berries, so I'm trying to clear the berries so I can make space for more farms. And we also are getting all of the upgrades. So you'll see we have the double broadaxe. We don't have the specialized pick yet, but we do have the wheelbarrow upgrade and horticulture and those type of upgrades. You can see here in the general queue, all I'm trying to do is train one of each unit and just starting to build up a mass here. And we did see him from this perspective. We do see him pushing in here. So we know there's something happening, and still, like I said, no blacksmith, so we don't have to worry about any siege right now. He's actually also scared of a push from my side, so he's falling off. So now I'm baiting with the scout forward so I can get a glimpse of what the units are. I'm putting my horsemen on 4, this is keybind 5, so even if they overlap like this, it's fine, like that. I'm using this to just build up a little bit more men-at-arms because I'm not sure how many men-at-arms he has, and I expected them to be in this little bush. So you can see how I'm pushing in, right? I'm kind of thinking in his shoes what I would do if I was in his shoes, right? You can see he just spent a 1,000 food there, so did not get any raid success here. But now he spent 1,000 food. So firstly, okay, villagers are going down. King's Palace actually going down a second landmark. So he had enough to age up, which is a pretty good time. He's sitting on 12 minutes basically for castle age. And I guess the only difference why he would have a castle age before me, first, doesn't have double broadaxe. Second, the wheelbarrow is out, but he doesn't have the horticulture. No specialized pick upgrade, no archer upgrade, actually has the men. Does he? No, he doesn't have the men-at-arms upgrade. It shows early men-at-arms, but he does not. There you can see the early men-at-arms upgrade, so that's just a little bug. You can see it's Vanguard men-at-arms, so it's not upgraded, right? So I'm respecting the push and just training my own units. We have the men-at-arms upgrade, as you can see. We have the double broadaxe. Actually no specialized pick yet, and still no horticulture, so focusing on the villagers, trying to get some stone up, so I can get some stone walls off. I don't like specifically this map to go for wooden walls. There's just too many points that you need to defend. So again, getting an outpost up, getting some information up. I have the scout here, so if he transitioned into some other forms of food this side, I would have some information on that. I am very comfortable with this wall and kind of the choke point here, so I can defend it. And now I'm also able to go into the castle age. And I actually did not look at this. I don't know. Let's check here at the back. There's no gold. This map was actually very scarce on gold. One right here. So the gold is all the way to the front here. And when you're going for these upgraded landmarks, right, please focus on getting at least map security with like a white castle or something, or resource control. I think even a better position for this might have been in between the gold and the wood here, so you can have both. But I did not know how aggressive I wanted to be. I wanted to be a little bit sneaky or stealthy with this King's Palace. And the reason you go with the King's Palace in this specific type of game is because we are sitting with a situation where I know this time 14 to 15 minutes. If you go into 20 minutes, you're already looking possible in Imperial Age. upgrades and all those type of things happening. So now you can see still no specialized pickaxe, no double broadaxe, still no horticulture upgrade. So the only upgrade that he really has is the wheelbarrow, and he actually has still no upgrades on the military. Blacksmith, no blacksmith. No blacksmith, no upgrades. On our side, just as a comparison, we have a market, we have the archer upgrade, the defense upgrade, the extra defense upgrade here. We don't have Bloomery, the attack upgrade, which applies to any melee units, so horses and men-at-arms. Now you can see we're actually getting specialized pick. We do have the lumber, the double broadaxe. We don't have the forestry yet. No textiles, but we also have that horticulture, so extra bonus on these villagers farming the food, right? That adds up over time. Again, what you can see, selecting my horses, that's control 4, this is control 5, like that. So horses are on the archers, and men-at-arms and our archers are on his men-at-arms, and we have that extra upgrade. You can see his men-at-arms, just 3, our men-at-arms is 3+1, so extra defense, extra attack. And okay, so I want to show you guys what I do here, and I guess that's my own mistake, but I needed to apply some pressure here, and I'll show you why that's important. He didn't use his whole army, which is also a good thing, and he knows as soon as he went for the push, he's just training more archers up here. Look at his resources here, dropping now archery range, get more archers out. They are actually upgraded, so it's the veteran longbowmen, so they have that 8 damage. I did not get that upgrade, so we're sitting on 7 damage just with that extra upgrade. And 0-0 armor, 1 and 1 on my side. So horsemen getting a few villagers, and all I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to thin out his resources, forcing him to spend what resources he has to train any units that he can. Obviously he can train some knights with the stable, but he's going for the archers, and he's actually getting the veteran spearman upgrade, so he's going for some more spearmen there. So now I'm using the archers to get on top of his villagers at the back. So we pick off maybe 5 or 6 villagers here, and I'm right underneath the town center. So these longbows are actually doing a really good job under the protection of you know, the King's Palace and the town center and the archers. You know, I was not gonna win that fight, so if I maybe you know, held back literally a few seconds to train up these sea trams, right, I was going to be in a comfortable situation where the rams are going to tank the damage from the town centers, and my units was going to have a lot easier time to get through that. But I actually didn't push with that upgrade. You can see that upgrade is done now, but only now we're going for military academy, and we basically threw away, give or take, 2,500 resources just by rushing there. So the bad or sad part about this is you are going to expect a counter push to happen, and I need to respect that firstly, and I need to respond to that. So it's like a give and a take type of thing happening with your resources. We rushed, we got a few villagers, but we lost our army. He rushed with quite a tiny army here and lost that army to us, and we essentially lost our army. So I know he had heavy archers, so I'm like, okay, cool. I'm not going to go into a horseman because the horseman struggles against the men-at-arms. They don't have the armor. So here we have 5 ranged armor, 5 melee armor, plus that very high damage. So this is the knights are going to deal very well with the composition he's currently running, right? We knew there was spearman upgrades and so on, but we didn't want to go into that same composition because we saw obviously that didn't work to push into finishing the game. So I have the 4 stables right now. Keybinds wise, you can see everything is still selected together. If I press tab, you can see now I'm on the stable, I'm on the council hall, on the barracks. If I use the barracks as I click the barracks first, now if you see here I can train the melee units first, then it's gonna tab to that again. Stables and council hall. So it all depends on what you decide to put first or second in that order, and that's basically how it's gonna transition into tabbing through your options. So I currently have 7 all these buildings selected. If I double click with shift selected two siege workshops and I press Control 7 again, you can see they are added now to that key binding, and now we are focusing on, you know, just booming a little so we can get those resources and that push happening. So gold still on 1,000 gold here. A lot of upgrades done for the fact of where we're standing in the game. If you compare it to his side now, he's getting siege engineering, he's getting the military academy, which is going to increase the training speed by 25%, and then obviously these melee upgrades. I actually forgot to get my men-at-arms. I actually got the men-at-arms upgrade, but I keep forgetting about the veteran archer upgrade. I just don't play enough with them. So now we know, from our perspective, we got the bell from the outpost, and I'm sending forward again, forward army like here. Just keep an eye on these horsemen, right? Horsemen getting split up, so I'm forcing these horsemen to tank the front here, and I'm flanking his archers, so getting a nice surround on essentially a full archer mass. Another horseman getting pulled onto his outpost. He actually did manage to finish it because of the little stealth forest there, giving him some room to breathe. And more horsemen, knights, sorry, gonna pick off this battering ram and trying to protect our outpost. Again, his whole army went down. So let's say that was about 20 archers, 40 food each, 50 wood each. So it's close to, let's say 1,500 resources more or less, or maybe like 1,000 resources that he lost right there if there was a few men-at-arms in there. And now again, I'm a bit reckless with my army, but I know it's tanky units, and we have to push in. So he has men-at-arms. So he actually upgraded his early men-at-arms now to men-at-arms. You can see here they say men-at-arms, not early men-at-arms. It's just maybe a bug in the game. And now my knights, the focus is on the knights is to pick off the villagers. And I'll show you now. Let's just see when these units go down, because I am inside his base, focusing on villager kills priority. So let's just do a stock take of what's available. We also go again for another ram, and you can see now my production here 5 in queue. So they actually added this. It's a global production, so you can actually see what's in queue in total, what type of units, composition you're training, what's happening even in the field when the ram was being built. So now you can see these knights are getting picked off by just the few spearmen up, the veteran spearmen actually, these upgraded men-at-arms with very high armor. They have the +2/+2, so that's going to be this upgrades that he actually should have gotten. I don't know, I think it's just a bug in the game, guys. I'm not sure why I can't really see his upgrades. Let's check. Even if I click on his name, I can't see it, so that's just maybe a bug in the game. So we're essentially throwing away these horsemen, but this is what I want to show you guys. He's sitting on 65 villagers, we are sitting on 74, so 15 villager difference, and very heavy on the upgrades. We actually got the second upgrade on the farms as well, so these farms are very effective right now. It's actually castle age, so that's going to be 25% faster food gathering, and then an additional upgrade from, you know, the second mill upgrade. Let's just see if we can maybe see what that upgrade is called. Horticulture, and the second one is, I keep forgetting, it's nice to check, fertilization. That's the second upgrade. So 15%, 15%, 15%. So it's 15% increased on, is it the farming speed? Gather rate, yeah, okay, so the gather rate increased by another 15%. So if you have the influence of the mill, which is already 25% now in castle age, plus the double upgrade, which is another 30%, so it's 60% upgraded food gather rate that you are getting from there, just so you guys have an idea. And if you get that Imperial Age, you transition into this lovely upgrade, one of my favorite upgrades on the English, the enclosures, and you get that extra 1 gold every 3.5 seconds. Now, you can see we have high food, and I transitioned with this King's Palace onto this gold line, and we are heavy on gold. We're sitting on 21 villagers on this gold line, and the only reason I'm doing that is because either I'm going to go fast, or not fast, well, Imperial Age, or I can get these mangonels out. And essentially what I want to do, I'm getting better at that. I'm not the best at it, but it's important that I practice it. So again, the key bindings before we go into battle, so I can kind of know what to expect. So mangonels plus villagers, keybind 5, knights keybind 6. I know I can get back to my base. Like that's keybind 2. Remember, this is all keybind 7. I'm just getting it back up so you guys can see. So I can train military while I'm in the field. I can select my villagers, or my knights, my villagers, and we're setting up to get a forward keep. So we have actually a point of falling back towards. But you can see now these stone walls and these walls on our side, how kind of safe that makes us, because every single time he pushed through this line, right? Right through here, and basically the stealth forest being a central point. So that's where I'm rallying towards, to get that keep now as my forward position. And we have the mangonels now, and the 19 knights. And let's have stock tech on his side, 21 spearmen, 16 crossbowmen, so really good call on his side. One thing that I couldn't understand is how he was keeping up with all these resources, but one thing I need to stop doing is trading. I trade in badly. Like you can my food sometimes goes down to like 190 food for whatever resource you're buying. So you can see I got the first keep down, getting a forward outpost, getting a forward siege workshop, because I didn't expect him to have this type of mass. And what I'm doing now with the knights, I'm pushing forward, getting the spearmen to stand still, getting the mangonel shots off. Pushing forward, getting the spearmen to stand still, getting the mangonel shots off. And now those villagers, you quickly see these villagers. I saw the springalds picked off my mangonel. Now all these villagers on keybind 5, keep an eye on this, guys. Look, I think this is alone what won me the game. We're sitting on 10 villagers, just repairing a single mangonel, getting all of these beautiful mangonel shots off to deal with these masses on his side. And heavy springalds trying to pick off, and he actually switches target to the back one, but it's fine. Every single time a shot goes down, we just use the villagers and we repair it. It doesn't use that much wood, and we know we have a very stable wood line right here. So every shot that goes onto the mangonel, we get the shots off. Every single shot goes off, we get the shots off. So now we have those mangonels. Another one coming out right on the front line, and that was important for me. I could have used the keep, but I don't like how slow the siege is right now. So more knights just dealing with these crossbowmen, but I basically depleted this whole army right now. So now either I have to start going for some form of heavy siege, so maybe like a trebuchet, or more men-at-arms and so forth, and get some rams so you can push in. But just while we're in this situation, you can see on the food side we are on double his food, similar wood line, a little bit more gold per minute, so very comfortable on the resources to just spam. You can see these knights, just spamming knights, and if I need more gold, I'm just selling food and getting a little bit higher gold up. And now another siege workshop coming out, so I can go for counterweight trebuchet or some springalds, like you can see right here, and keeping the pressure. So I'm not allowing him to build up any masses, using the knights that I do have to get on top of these villagers. I should have actually upgraded the knights. I didn't get this upgrade, but it's actually in Imperial Age. So that's fine. The only upgrade I really can get is the +2 upgrades in the Castle Age, and I only have the +1. I could have gotten all of these upgrades, so that's a little wasteful on my side. But again, mangonels getting attacked here. Villagers right here, a little bit of mismanagement on my side, trying to get control onto my base, train villagers and so forth. But right now, you know, it's in a dire strait for him. He's sitting on 61 villagers and we're on 88, so 22 villager, give or take, lead. You know, all these mangonels just keep sieging, and it gets to a point where you just lose hope, and he decides to tap out. But I think that was a very good demonstration of a castle age battle of the English. I guess a lot more higher ranked games will look like this, so I like that I can show you guys where to transition to, where castles can or keeps can be in a good position, and what upgrades actually works in your favor if you get them early on, and why it kind of snowballs into your advantage. But thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope to see you guys in the next